All right, we're live with Pastor Danny and Pastor Kayla from Elevate and Younger Generation Church. Wow, it's amazing for us to be at this point of juncture, looking forward to something that's happening, that's starting this weekend actually. And we are super excited to extend this invitation together. But tonight, what we want to do is we really want to get to know Pastor Danny and Pastor Kayla on a personal level and deeper level. And we want to hear about their journey with Jesus, like their discipleship journey with Jesus. But before that, we want to first hear the introduction of, how where they were born, how they were raised, and what brought them to Southwestern, and how they were introduced to this particular journey. And then we'll go on to have them go a little deeper and talk about their first encounter with Jesus and that. So without further ado, I'm going to let Pastor Danny begin by introducing himself and sharing a little bit about his journey with Jesus.
Awesome. Thank you, Pastor Justin. Just a little bit, right? We don't have that much time.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. Well, hello, everyone. My name is Danny Verdugo. I was born and raised in Southern California in the beautiful city of Pasadena. I lived there for a few years, then moved over with my family to Phoenix, Arizona. We just loved the sun. So we moved out to Phoenix, Arizona. That's where I felt like my ministry, my work in the church really started. I was able to meet a lot of great mentors, and it all kind of started there in Arizona. And specifically, I met my wife too. So that was a huge.
Amen to that.
Amen to that. Yes, it was at a youth event. Okay, youth and young adult event. So shout out, guys! Make sure you guys go to all the events. All right,
that's those youth events, man.
Yes, that and camp.
Keep an eye out.
Keep an eye out. It's a good spot. Yes.
Yeah.
Now I am currently in my 3rd/4th year of theology here at Southwestern. And it's been 2 years already. 2 years that I've been here in Texas. Yes.
Wow.
So it's been quite a journey. It's been quite a blessing. I'm not your typical college student. I'm a little bit older. Hopefully on this video you can't see the little crow's feet there. Hopefully it's not visible.
He's got just enough lighting.
Just enough lighting, yeah. I got the lighting just right to hide it. Yes. So I am a little bit older, just because I was running away from the calling that God had in my life. I had a little bit of Jonah in me, and so. But we're here now. God is blessed. It's been quite the journey, and I'm super excited.
That's awesome. So Phoenix to Texas. From the desert
Texas,
to the deep south, man. Yes. God has definitely led Pastor Danny in a very special way, and thank you so much for sharing. Now let's hear a little bit about Pastor Kayla.
All right, so I am a native Floridian. My parents actually came to Southwestern. That's where they met. They got married in the Keene Church, and then they moved to Florida. So my sister and I were born and raised in Florida. Orlando area, so frequently go to the beach and go to Disney and all that fun stuff. And I still live there, but I basically left home at 14 to go to Georgia Cumberland Academy for boarding school and loved that experience. That was an adventure. GCA, God's Chosen Academy, like we like to call it. And I definitely enjoyed my time there. And originally, Southwestern wasn't on my list of places to go, and some people kept pestering me to come visit, and so I did. And when I visited, Pastor Russ offered me a job on the spot, and different things fell into place, and I was like, I'm not even coming here. And it took me getting a flat tire and meeting a guy with a Texas tattoo to know that Southwestern was where I needed to be.
So. Wow. That's quite the story there.
Yeah.
You probably need to get into a little bit of a detail a little later.
Maybe, yeah.
But that's amazing. Wow. So Georgia from actually Florida to Georgia to Texas.
Yep.
Yes. Okay. Well, I want to actually go back to Pastor Danny here, and as you were growing up in Phoenix, Arizona, and as you have been getting into different youth activities and events, what was the defining moment and point in your life when you decided, "Hey, I'm gonna follow Jesus for the rest of my life"? Like, do, do you have like a moment in time where you remember a location, a person, the memory? Can you share that with us a little bit?
Absolutely, I would love to. I think throughout my entire life, God has been present, and He has been putting people in my life at the right time and in the right place. But I would say the moment that I finally decided to accept the call to go into ministry, pastoral ministry, it was at summer camp. So I'm a huge summer camp fan. I know my
Summer
friends.
camp.
Yes, summer camp. That's where it's at. Yes. So I love summer camp. I worked there for a couple of years, a handful of years, and it was there. It was there when God came to me and said, stop running, stop avoiding this. I put up many excuses to not go into ministry, but he finally told me, this is where I need you to be, and this is where you need to go. And so I said, okay. If you want me to go, if you want me to pursue this, then you open the doors. You make it super easy. You make it as streamlined as possible. And let me tell you, it did. Like everything going from Arizona here to Southwestern, it was all God, because there's far too many coincidences to be a coincidence. Like it was smooth. It was a smooth transition. And so it was the summer camp of 2016. That's when I finally decided, okay, I'm going to go into ministry. And so it was a few steps that had to happen before then. I had to get married. I wanted to get married. And so that kind of propelled me too.
Okay.
So, but yes, it was summer camp 2018.
Wow.
Yes.
So that was the moment when you said, "Hey, God has placed a calling in my life.
Yeah.
And I can't make any excuses anymore. I'm going to go down this road."
Yeah.
And just become a disciple for life.
Yeah. Amen.
That was the deep calling that God has placed on Pastor Danny's life.
That was the moment when the journey began.
This is beautiful. This is beautiful. And the journey continues. And along the way, you have really seen God do some amazing things through you, Pastor Danny. And I am sure, like through different ministry outlets and activities that you've done, both in Phoenix and here in Southwestern, can you tell us a little bit about a encounter with a younger person or someone that you were leading that just the light bulb turned on, and they said yes to Jesus, and it just flooded your soul and your heart with joy? Can you relate one of those instances for us?
Oh, absolutely. There's plenty. The best experience for me, it was being a counselor, and it was that year 2018. It was being a counselor at summer camp. And the amount of influence that you have on kids and sharing Jesus with them, it's immense. And so it's a huge blessing. It's a huge opportunity to show them and tell them about the love of Jesus. And so it was that camp. There always is that that camper that's a little, that pulls on your strings, pulls on your nerves there. And so it was Camp Yavapines, actually, Pastor Allen. Yeah, it was at Camp Yavapines. But yes, there is there was a camper that I thought, man, this kid's, he's been through a lot of stuff. I don't know if he's going to get it. But, working with him and sharing with him, he started slowly getting curious. He started slowly asking questions. And you would see the light bulb, the gears, turning in his mind and saying, wow, this person died for me. Jesus died for me and gave his life for me. Like, he couldn't believe it. And so he made the decision. He made the decision to give his life to Jesus, to get baptized. And so that was truly, truly amazing.
Praise the Lord. Wow. You can actually see the journey happening. like
Oh,
little
you
by
can see
little.
the journey happening, yes, in front of your eyes. And so that makes it all worth it. That makes it all worth it for the entire week, you know? Like you can be exhausted, you can be tired, but at the end of the day, that Friday night when they decide, you know, I want to give my life to Jesus and I want to be baptized, it makes it all worth it.
Yes, yes. And turning to Pastor Kayla here, I know that she has spent some significant time in Micronesia in the mission field, in a school setting, and also had some incredible leading of God in her life. And we want to just let her kind of share her experience of how she said yes to Jesus and to the mission field, and the encounter that she had, and just share with us some of the ways that God has truly blessed you along your journey. Okay, is she with us? I think she might have gotten disconnected.
You might have froze a little bit.
Yeah. I think she needs to come back in. I think it's actually a storm season. I don't know if you guys are all right out there. There's been a lot of rain today. If you're on the road, please be careful. Oh, there she is. We're gonna put her back in. Yes. Well, we're connected, and we want to come back to Pastor Kayla and let her share her story with us.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, good. Sorry, I don't know what's happening with my Wi-Fi. I guess my faith journey really actually started at camp as well, kind of similar to Danny. I've been going to Camp Kawakwa every summer since I was 8 years old. And that first summer, I remember because my mom's was the summer camp nurse, the medical director there. So I got to go every summer, the whole summer. It was always such a joy. And I remember that first summer I was a camper for 1 week. And then every summer after that, I was a camper for like 3+ weeks, the rest of the time I was there, and until I became a staff member. But I remember summer of 2008 was the first time I remember visibly like giving my heart to Jesus and like committing my heart to him. And then I think summer of 2009, I got baptized. And then life just happened and things kept happening. And I ended up going to boarding school, and I had I had a journey with like depression and suicidal things and just a lot of like things. And I really wanted to not be alive at one point. And
wow.
I really felt like God's presence one day, and he really just stopped me from ending my life. And it was a moment where he said, like, that's the only time I've actually felt like I heard God speak to me, was when he said, stop, don't do it. I have a plan for you. Just wait and see. And I was mad because I didn't really want to live at that point. So I got help, and that's been a journey that I've been on ever since then, journeying through this. And when I went to high school, I loved academy. I was put in like a pastoral position every single year that I was there, whether it was class pastor, whether it was student association pastor. And I didn't really think anything of it, just because I loved walking with God and I loved sharing my faith journey. And I wanted to be a summer camp director. That was my original goal. And I'm still down for that if that's what God has in mind. But I remember distinctly, like, between my sophomore and junior year, that summer I was working at camp. It was my second summer at camp, and I really just felt like I needed to recommit my life to God, because he was saying, Kayla, I'm ready to do something new in your life. Will you just let me? And so that summer I got rebaptized and I recommitted my life to him. And it was just a beautiful moment. And ever since then, I've kind of been on a battle fighting God's call for my life. And I came to Southwestern as a double major with elementary education and religion. And one of my advisors sat me down and was like, Kayla, I think you should either drop religion and just do elementary ed, or drop elementary ed and do theology, or change to elementary ed and theology. She was like, you need she was like, I know you need to do theology. She was like, you need to learn the languages. You need to do all of this. And I was like, I don't want to. And I told God if he wanted me to do it, he had to send me 3 people to tell me that I should switch to theology. And I told him that on a Monday morning. And Monday before 10 a.m., I had 3 people tell me I needed to study theology. And I was like,
Wow.
God, that was too fast. I don't like that. And I asked for another thing, and I asked God to show me again 3 more things. And within the next day, I got those 3 more confirmations. And I was kind of salty because I was like, why did I ask you? I don't want to do this. And I felt like he was like, all right, Kayla, you don't have to do this, but this is the call I have for you. And I'm taking you on this journey. And every time like I try to push back, I think of that moment where like he saved me ultimately. And I was like, all right, God, I'm here for a reason. You said you got a plan. I guess I'm going to trust you on that. So, yeah.
Amen. Amen. I'm actually kind of curious because, you mentioned that there were some really, challenging times in your life where you didn't want to continue living, and yet you continue to answer the calls to be the class pastor and the SA pastor and so forth, because you continue to get yourself involved. What kept you going, like during those times of, I guess, almost extremes in one way or another?
Yeah. I would say the thing that's kept me going the most has always been camp. Because growing up, I've always related my experience at camp to my experience with God, because for me, that's always been the most tangible place and environment where I've been able to see God move. And so every year, like as soon as like camp was over, I'd be really sad. And I would always look forward to camp or Christmas because I loved Christmas, to be with family, to go different places. And then as soon as Christmas was done, I'm like, it's camp time. And so I remember at my lowest point, I was, I think, in 7th grade at the time when I almost ended my life. And it was actually just a month and a half before camp. And I just was like, you know what, if I can make it to camp, like I'm going to be okay. And I remember that summer specifically, I had probably my favorite counselor I've ever had. And I was able to share things with her that I didn't feel comfortable sharing with other people. And she helped me like talk to like different people to get the help that I needed. And I'm so thankful for that. And like, I still look up to her to this day. And I'm like, yeah, I message her all the time. So I'm very thankful for that.
Amen to that. Super shout out to all the summer staff and counselors over at Camp
Camp Kulakwa.
Kulakwa.
Kulakwa. Yeah, you got it.
All right. I just want to let all of you in Texas know that Lake Whitney summer camp will be open at 100% capacity. It has been decided and approved as is effective today. So get yourself ready to enjoy the 100% summer camp experience this summer. All right. With that, we want to actually transition over to a special journey that Pastor Danny and Pastor Kayla is inviting all of you to, right? It's happening in just not even a week. There's something that's happening this weekend. So I want to let Pastor Danny and Kayla just kind of explain to you all what's taking place and how you guys can get involved in the deep calling journey. Go ahead, guys.
You want me to start, Kayla? I think she froze. Maybe I will start. Okay, so yes, everyone, we're going to be going on this journey. It's called Deep Calling, and so is where we learn how to grow closer with God, be a disciple, and then grow disciples around us. So get closer to God and how we can actually get closer with our community around us. And so we're focusing on the 8 calls that God has in our lives, and each day we're going to be talking about a different one. And so, like Pastor Justin said, it's coming up very, very soon. It's April 23rd through May 1st. And it's going to be a little bit of a hybrid. For those that are in the DFW area, you are more than welcome to come in person for the services that will be in person. And then there'll be some that will be online. They'll be live streamed. And so the first Sabbath that we'll be starting it, like I said, it's April 23rd. That's Friday, actually. Sorry. And that, yes, that'll be that night here at Southwestern Adventist University. And then the next morning, both Kayla and I will be kicking it off. Kayla will be at Elevate, and I will be at YG Church in Arlington.
All right, so this is hybrid. There's
Yes.
possibility for people in the Dallas-Fort Worth area to be in person through this journey, starting on April 23. Can you tell a little bit about what's going on this Sabbath at 5 p.m.?
Kayla. Yes, absolutely.
Welcome back.
Hey, Kayla. It's raining. It's really raining hard out in Key.
It is.
It's probably that.
My Wi-Fi gave out, so I'm on my phone now. Sorry.
That's probably better. No, that's better.
Yeah, this is much better. Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, this Sabbath, April 17th at 5 p.m., we have a small group facilitator training. It's with the author of Deep Calling, actually, which is awesome. It's Dr. Tara Van Cross, and the team will be doing this training online for all those who are willing to be facilitators here for this Deep Calling journey.
So let me go ahead and clarify. The actual journey of going through the 8 different discipleship tracks is starting on April 23, going all the way to May 1, and they can register right now by going to tinyurl.com/deep calling. Okay, if you haven't registered, now is the time to do it. All right, so this Sabbath, it's a facilitators training, meaning that those who want to lead in a small group after May 1, they can join this Sabbath. Is that what it is? Yes.
That's correct. Yes. Yeah. That is correct.
Now I want this to be super, super clear, and this is an invitation that is being made to every single one of you, especially young adult leaders, those of you who are serving in the church, local church context, and those of you who wanted to always start a group and do something with your peers, right? This is an excellent opportunity for you guys to sign up and be trained by Dr. Tara Van Cross herself, the author of Deep Calling, and be involved and lead out and facilitate a community toward their deep calling in Christ Jesus, right? All right, so Kayla, since you're back, why don't you tell us a little bit about a little sneak peek preview to what each night might hold for those who are kind of interested in joining the journey together.
Okay, I hope you guys can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
So each night, basically, we're going to be streaming on different platforms, just going over the 8 calls. I know Pastor Danny and I have been recording our little sermonettes, and we're going to have some music there and just journey together with us on this first week of kicking it off and learning what the deep calls look like and what the call to ultimately come together on this journey, because this journey was never meant for us to go alone. It's meant for community and for coming together. And I think that's like one of the biggest things that has attracted me to this thing. And I think we're both really excited that this is going on, and we're just trying to get prepared as possible.
Yes.
See what God's going to do with it. So, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if I cut out again, but yeah.
Awesome. Can you add? Do you have anything to add, Pastor Danny?
No, I think Kayla said it. Yes, I mean we're super excited. We've been going through the resources that you have there. If you can show it there again, Pastor. We have the book there, the journal as well in the back. You can see it. We've been going through the resources, and we're super excited to share it with everyone. It's super practical, which I like. And so it has helpful tools. It's super practical, and it gives you all the steps on how to develop this with your small group, with your young people, with anyone in the church, really.
Yes, and this is a personal testimony And when I first went through this particular discipleship curriculum, I just wish I had this 20, 30 years ago. Like when I was going, I'm not too old, but at least 20 years ago, because this actually outlines a deeper call for every single one of God's disciples. And it's super, super practical that you can do every single day. And you can do it with a community. You're not alone with that. So through the global pandemic, it's been very hard for us some of us, it's been really difficult to really maintain a really vibrant and healthy and just a really good relationship with God. It's been really challenging. And if you are feeling like you needed a reboot and a motivation, a community where you can do some life with, this is the perfect opportunity for you to register and belong to a group and just begin your journey back to Jesus, right? And we are super thankful for Pastor Danny and Pastor Kayla for spearheading this journey for us and with us. And they will be there to meet you guys and greet you and lead you through this journey. And we want to invite every single one of you who might be watching to consider not only joining the journey by yourself, but to invite at least one friend to join with you and be part of a group that can perhaps be life-changing. Like summer camp, in the summer camp, like in a counselor setting, in a cabin, right? Where you have that community, you can share almost anything and you develop that trust and you begin to go on a deeper journey with them. In essence, making summer camp an amazing experience. You make bonds and friendships that will last potentially a lifetime. And we hope, and I don't know if you guys agree with me, we do hope that through this journey, that God will, connect you and bond you with someone and a community that you can truly trust and do some serious spiritual life with.
Yeah.
And that's our hope and that's our prayer. And it's not just an event that's just going to pass away. It's going to be a continual journey that each and every one of you can actually continue in your local church context with your groups as well. All right. With that, Pastor Danny and Pastor Kelly, any final closing words, invitation that you want to reiterate as we wrap up our time tonight?
Well, I just want to say, yes, don't miss this amazing opportunity. Go ahead and register there. You see it, tinyurl.com/deepcalling, as well as if you're familiar with the YG Church page, as well as the Elevate, this is elevate.org page, the Keen page. So we're kind of putting it on all different platforms. So whichever one you're familiar with, please go ahead on there and find some information and register. Even if you're going to join for one night, or if you're going to be able to join us for the entire time, we're excited to share this with each and every one of you guys.
For everyone who registers, they get something, right?
Yes. There's some resources. I think Kayla can speak a little bit more about that, the resources that we have for them.
Yes.
We're looking forward to sending you like journals and maybe some giveaways throughout the week. So we're really looking forward to having you guys with us.
And it's free. Yes, free.
Free.
Zero.
That sounds amazing. It's free. And it's practical, it's community, it's discipleship. This is absolutely one of the best things that could ever happen to us. And it's happening starting this weekend with the facilitators training, and everything begins with the journey on April 23rd. Thank you, Pastor Danny and Pastor Kayla, for your leadership and for joining us tonight. And for those of you watching, remember to register right now, tinyurl.com/deepcalling. We'll see you guys on April 23.
Yes.
For those of you facilitators, this Sabbath at 5 p.m. Central Time. All right, see you guys.
Thanks, Pastor Justin.
Thank you.